Fighty Radio.
Welcome to this brand new edition of 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my in-studio co-host, Albert Cita. We're also joined on the telephone by Guillermo Cita out on the East Coast and our good friend Jason Hendricks from the Dos Leprechauns podcast. Gentlemen, how's it going?
Good. We're doing well. How you guys doing?
Please don't talk over each other. Hold on. Guillermo, how you doing?
Doing good.
Jason, you doing good?
Doing great, riding high off a big Notre Dame victory yesterday.
Oh, there you go. Jason's a big Notre Dame fan. He has a podcast dedicated to the fight in Irish at Dos Leprechauns. So let's get started. UFC 203 is in the books. I thought a pretty fun event, especially the pay-per-view side was pretty exciting. It was marked by a heavyweight title defense between Stipe Miocic and Alex Overeem. But, of course, I think the bigger news was the MMA debut and UFC debut of one CM Punk, former professional wrestler, former WWE champion, indie darling. So let's jump right into CM Punk's debut. He was taken down, choked out in about 2 minutes, 14 seconds by Mickey Gall. Just reaction to the fight, guys. Did it go as what you expected? Did you expect more of a fight or what?
Me personally, I was a little disappointed. I wanted to see a fight, not a safe win for Mickey Gall. I mean, don't take anything away from him, but I mean, like, he played it smart. Obviously, CM Punk is new to the UFC world,
MMA world.
Kind of new, maybe. In fighting and professional fighting. So I figured that his jiu-jitsu would be his weakest point. So why not take it to the ground? What I really wanted to see is more of a stand-up fight, and that's the only disappointment I had.
Yeah, Jason.
Do you really think it would have been much different if they had stood up?
What?
I think then I would have been able to see CM Punk's progression had it been standing up. I'm assuming that all CM Punk has been working these last 2 years is stand-up, but isn't that what Rufus Sport is known for? And, they have a couple wrestlers in there, but that was it.
Look, I think it comes down to this, is that that takedown was there all night long. And I think Mickey knew that he could have got that takedown easily whenever he wanted to. He just wanted to play it safe and get it over with. And I think he kind of cheated the fans. If you knew he got that takedown in the back pocket, why not just,
play with him a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. Come on.
Throw a couple jabs here and there.
Yeah, and this is the reason why I keep going back to WWE. Because they always give me the taste and then they give me the finish.
Yeah, I mean, CM Punk was a 37-year-old guy.
I feel cheated.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people feel cheated because it depends if you're wanting to see a fight, but a lot of people were satisfied with CM Punk's defeat.
Look, I'm okay with CM Punk losing. Honestly, it's not that I was rooting for him to win or anything like that. I just wanted to see more from him, and we didn't get to see that. I mean, we saw him start to scramble around, not get choked down. So finally, Mickey was able to finally to get that. But I mean, I feel shorted out on that fight. I mean, the rest of the card, I mean, we'll get to it. But
and there's
that fight alone, I got cheated.
There are a lot of world caliber fighters who aren't that good on the ground either. So some guys, when they're sitting on the ground, they're like a turtle on their back. So maybe we do need to see more from CM Punk. But I want to go to his post-fight comments. He said he wants to come back, but then during the press conference, he's like, "Well, I don't know if I don't know. It's up in the air right now. I might get cut. I mean, I just lost my fight." Is that kind of like? Does he want to come back? You think, like, deep down he says he wants to, but I have a hard time believing this guy ever wants to have a short or mid-career in MMA. That's just my opinion. I think.
I think deep down he knows he bit off more than he can chew.
Yeah, good point.
I think he recognizes that any chance he has of getting any wins is going to be in lower federations like Victory or I don't know, freaking King of the Cage out here in SoCal or something.
Yeah.
Like that. As far as the big fights in the UFC, I don't think we'll ever see him again. I don't think he deserves it. I mean, let's be honest, it was kind of a freak show. It's like what was that boxer that came in, James Toney, that got knocked out?
Oh yeah, Randy Couture, yeah.
Show like that.
Albert, do you think?
Honestly, Jason could say we might not see him again. All in all, him getting inside the ring or the octagon is a victory in all in its own. I mean, like, he was able to get in there against a professional fighter. Who else can say that?
I mean, That's the thing that's kind of bugged me, this whole participation trophy thing. Like, yeah, okay, but this guy had the resources to him. He handpicked one of the best camps in America. I mean, he had his fame in professional wrestling. Oh, good for him. Good story. The guy had everything, served up to him on a silver platter. Yeah, he worked hard in the gym, overcame injuries, but like this whole thing, like, I mean, yeah, he's a tough guy, but every guy that steps in the octagon is a tough guy. So, I mean, how's CM Punk getting different from anybody else?
Probably has the opportunity, but they're not willing to do it.
Yeah, like if I got in the octagon, I deserve like that type of thing from like you know what I mean, or any of us did. But this guy,
then get your butt up, Alex, and go to UFC gym and go try to get into the cage.
Yeah, let me go contact one of the top camps in the United States. Hey guys, take me in because you know.
And honestly, this shows you why Dana White can never be a booker. Because Alex said it best when we were watching the fights is they really should have gave him a guy that just does stand up.
Yeah.
You know what? Michael Jackson, the guy that Mickey Gall beat, he should have fought CM Punk. It should have been some guy like that, not some like guy that he won the fight that he initially won to get to CM Punk was from the ground, but. I honestly believe they should have done a stand-up fighter, a one-dimensional fighter, and then build them from there. You know, they did that with. I mean, look at Sage Northcutt. It's not like he got thrown into the wolves and stuff like that. Not that I'm saying that Mickey Gall is a wolf, but I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, how about that, Guillermo or guys? Mickey Gall calling out Sage Northcutt before we leave.
What was the question?
Mickey Gall wants Sage Northcutt next.
Let's do it. I think Sage Northcutt got that.
What do you think, Jason?
Man, let's really talk.
I just think that's my problem in general getting back to the CM Punk thing. I think that, he should have, the people were so bitter because he got pushed into the spotlight, co-main event of the card, and he hadn't proven anything. And they gave him this co-main event spotlight where there's guys that are grinding it out for years and fighting these low emotions and all that. And all of a sudden this guy who's a fake fighter comes in and just because he has the desire to be a fighter, they're going to put him in the co-main event and give him probably, $1 million? Sponsorships and everything?
He wasn't the co-main event. Jason, did you even watch the card?
He was the one.
He was the co-main event?
Okay, no, he was the one.
Either way, he was
third
on
down.
the main card.
Yeah,
he was on the main card.
We're looking like the Cleveland refs right now.
Yeah.
We got to get some.
All right, that's it for round number one. We're gonna take a break and come back for round number two. Talk about the Stipe Miocic knockout over Al Silverman. So don't go anywhere, guys. Welcome back. Time for round number two. Main event, UFC 203, was a heavyweight championship bout between Stipe Miocic and Alistair Overeem. Miocic, the hometown hero in Cleveland, Ohio, retains by TKO. Looked kind of scary in the beginning for Miocic and the Cleveland fans. I know Guillermo, the biggest Miocic fan that we know. This guy, Guillermo, for his credit, he's been on Miocic's bandwagon since like before it was a bandwagon. It was like a one-hit trailer when Guillermo was on there.
It was just a smart card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, when he was wearing Crow Cop shorts, I just saw something in him.
Yeah.
Crow Cop was to me, it felt like a great mentor for him.
Yeah.
And I saw the potential there. That's why I jumped on the wagon even before there was a wagon.
So, Guillermo, just your reaction to the Stipe Miocic overcoming that early knockdown to come back and defeat Overeem.
I was actually kind of nervous for him because of the knockdown. I mean, it just showed you that the heavyweight division, I mean, it's literally you have a puncher's chance at winning the championship at any moment. So I was kind of scared, but, I thought he recovered well, and, he has power of his own. But, yeah, now, honestly, that the fight's over, it's very interesting who Stipe Miocic should fight next. That's actually my interest of the result that occurred because we saw we're doomed earlier. We still have Cain not even buzzed, so I think that's even more interesting, regardless of what happened in the fight.
Seriously, I do want to point out Miocic's recovery time. That guy was like Wolverine out there, dude. Yeah. He would get like hit nasty, and like he was fine like 5 seconds later. The guy needs to get blood checked to see if he has a mutant gene.
Hey, Jason, what I noticed about Miocic too was like after I know he was in his hometown, Cleveland, his punt, but the guy has some charisma. I think he has the crowd at the palm of his hand. Jason, when's the last time a heavyweight kind of exuberated that kind of energy? Like
the energy me and Alex are throwing right now.
Verdum's kind of like whatever.
He had that kind of energy. If you really look at it, was when Brock was champ. I mean, whether he was a good fighter or not, he brought people to watch him fight.
No lie. When Brock almost took down the fence when he beat Frank Mir, I almost threw my TV, bro. He got me so hyped.
Yeah.
Because like
Exactly.
Cain Velasquez was kind of all business. So was JDS all business. But no, he was kind of all business. He never really did much after a win. He was kind of all cool, kept the frowning face. But Miocic actually shows emotion, which is kind of cool, I think.
No, like the hypest thing I seen.
About Miocic
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, just go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think the thing that I really appreciate about Miocic is that he's basically just a regular guy that happens to be a real badass. I mean, he's a firefighter, and he's still, even though he's making probably, $500,000 to $1 million, he's still going and getting his day job done as a Cleveland firefighter, which is just a really cool, story.
Yeah, he's a great champion.
Yeah.
Shane Carwin wasn't a champ, though.
Shane Carwin's also like an engineer, so
don't forget Rich Franklin. I mean, we have these pretty.
But they all quit their job, though. Keep that in mind, Guillermo. They all quit their job. Stipe still does it.
Said he's not quitting, and I'm sorry, but in the day of people not standing for the national anthem, in the day of all this bullshit going on, for a guy to go out there and recognize the true hero.
You just had to go there, didn't you, Jason? You just had to go there.
Speaking of the 49ers.
Because I remember you were actually rooting against them not too long ago.
Yeah, I was, but I like him now.
All right, so
let's circle back.
I'm on the bandwagon now.
Let's circle back to in the octagon thing. So
I don't know if you guys saw the interview after the fight, but apparently Overeem said that he felt Miocic tap, and that's why he eased up on the guillotine. And Joe Rogan called him out. He told the production truck to like replay that whole twice and slow motion, and there was no tap. I mean, I could have saw what could have been a tap, but there was no clear tap.
Hey, you don't know, man. You're not in the octagon. You don't know.
But then again, I wasn't in the octagon, bro. And and you know what? I'm not gonna tell Overeem he's wrong.
So I mean, I think we all know Overeem still has a home in the UFC. He's with the heavyweight division, but it's kind of leaning towards Cain Velasquez versus Stipe. Is that what you're looking at? Even though Verdum won.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially Verdum's win against Travis Browning was not that impressive.
Yeah. So we're on agreement.
But it's still a win, and he's been knocking on the door, asking Dana White for his rematch from me.
But dude, he got clawed clean. Like it wasn't even a competitive match.
Only thing I can think of is Stipe said he wants to take some time off, so maybe in the meantime they might do Cain versus Verdum for a number one contender shot.
Let's do it.
Only thing I can think of. I think I'm sure Cain fans will like that.
Cain is scary right now, man. I think he's the biggest test out there for Miocic.
Yeah, of course. I think we all agree there.
I can't believe Jason is giving props to Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that last fight against Travis Browning was scary.
It was a massacre. Dude, I was about to call the cops.
Okay, that's it for round number 2. When we return from round number 3, I want to talk about Uriah Faber and just kind of where he goes from here after his loss at UFC 203, so don't go anywhere. All right, time for round number 3. One topic I want to talk about from UFC 203 was Uriah Faber's match with, who did he fight? Jimmy Rivera. Before our preview card, I kind of mentioned it's kind of a big fight for Faber because it kind of sees where he's at. Jimmy Rivera is an up-and-coming bantamweight, and for Faber fans, it wasn't really that good of an outing, right? Because Rivera's now 20 wins, 1 loss.
Yeah, but I honestly thought that Uriah Faber did what Uriah Faber was supposed to do. And that is and that's control the gate. Yeah. And if you can get past through the gate, then you deserve a title shot. So I think right now Jimmy Rivera deserves a title shot, and Uriah Faber should stay where he's at until he loses. Maybe if he allows 3 people through that gate in a row, then he should leave.
Yeah. So I mean, Rivera's 27-year-old, like up and coming. So I want you guys: can Faber hang with the young guys, or should he just, who's a veteran of the sport I could do like a super fight with?
You know what, Alex? I'm already PO'd about this round.
Why?
This round should not be about Uriah Faber. It should actually be a round about Jimmy Rivera. Did I say his name right?
Yeah.
How can we have a round when you can't even say his name?
All I gotta say is Rivera is no joke. I think this guy, instead of saying a young and up and coming guy, he is here. I think Rivera, if you look at his winning streak, the only guy ahead of him in terms of consecutive wins is because he's Nurmagomedov. So, I mean, like, even going in, I was watching some of his highlights before the Faber fight. I was like, man, this guy is no joke. I think that this solidifies him, and Albert had it 100% correct. Rivera deserves a title shot. I'm not even kidding. This guy is no joke. I think he blows everybody else out. And you were talking about the bantamweight division, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about, Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw. Like I literally see Rivera beating those guys.
Asensio.
So
let's go back to Uriah Faber. Jason, veteran.
Jason was an original California Kid fan.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, what's next for Faber? Does he just go, hey, give me these fight pass fights, give me these fight nights, Faber versus, Edgar 2 type of things, or are his days as a title contender gone?
I think his days as a top contender are gone, and that's coming from a big Faber fan. But I think he's still an entertaining fighter, and at the end of the day, that's what we want to see is entertaining fights. I mean, yesterday I finally saw that fight. It was kind of boring, but at the same time, like you said, Jimmy Rivera, he's no joke. And I don't see Faber being able to compete with guys like that, guys like Dillashaw, guys like obviously Dominic Cruz has his number.
Remember, guys,
as a gatekeeper, as a guy that's going to kind of be the tipping point for some of these guys to go up or down. I think that's his role at this point. He knows it.
Yeah.
And
well, the one thing I wanted to mention to you guys before we change the subject a little bit, but Faber had one last title run in him, which is the starting point is TJ Dillashaw, if you guys think about it, because we still haven't seen the conclusion of that feud.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, that fight's still there. If Uriah Faber is able to beat TJ Dillashaw, he's right back into the
He's
next
back in the
fight.
top.
He really
this is his career, man. Just when you think he's going to be out, he always gets that one key win he needs, and he's back right in it. So, credit to Faber. I think that's where they might want to go. I don't know if Dillashaw wants that fight because he's clamoring for a title shot.
Hey,
but
that's the way you get a title shot. You got to go through Uriah Faber.
Yeah,
and
but
just so you guys know, too, that fight was like there's been very rare times he loses that's not a championship fight. Other than Frankie Edgar, he's only lost his last couple losses have all been championship fights. So I mean, that means Jimmy Rivera is pretty super legit. Let's I'll not beat up Uriah Faber too much,
Yeah.
The guy is still literally, I think, top 3 in that division.
So before we take a break and enter the championship rounds, other highlights from the card from you guys. I mean, Yancy Medeiros had a pretty good outing. Betchko Hea defeated the local fighter, local fan favorite Jessica Ai. Jessica Andrade defeated Joanne Calderwood.
I don't know what was up with that Beth Correa fight.
That Correa fight was kind of boring.
Yeah,
and I really think Jessica Ai won that fight.
Went to the winning side.
Brad Tavares, Nick Lentz. Jason, anything else start for you?
Yeah, not really.
Albert was excited about that Nick Lentz win.
Yeah, no, he was.
It was a good win, bro. Nick Lentz is back at it.
So we'll see. I was just disappointed in Joanne Calderwood. I was a big fan of her since Tough, but she's kind of had a rough patch lately. And Betchko Hea is back.
Hey, that's a freaking killer tattoo. Did you see her tattoo on her arm?
Fancy one, yeah.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah, but she lost though, so don't ever compliment a lot.
a loser's tattoo.
That's after. All right, so that's it for round number 3. We're going to take a small break and enter the championship round, so do not go anywhere, guys. All right, welcome back. Now it's time to end the championship rounds. UFC 205 is good. The UFC's debut in New York City. They booked it from Madison Square Garden. Long rumored they're going to go big or go home with this card. Ronda Rousey was linked to it, but now she's no longer anymore. They're actually now starting to announce some matchups for this event. The first biggest one was Robbie Lawler versus Donald Cerrone, which is actually announced officially by the UFC, but then a day later it was retracted because Robbie Lawler pulled out of the card, out of the fight. Other big-time matchups are Chris Weidman versus Yoel Romero, Tim Kenny versus Rashad Evans, and the biggest one I've heard, the biggest rumor I've heard so far is Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight championship bout. Jason Hendricks, if all these cards, well, now without Lawler and Cerrone, but are those 3 other matches good enough for you to hype up New York City for the UFC?
Oh, absolutely. Anything with Conor is going to get me hyped and everybody hyped.
That's it, right? As long as Conor McGregor's on it, it's just...
New York has a lot of Irish people, a lot of Irish immigrants, a lot of Irish people living there. So, they're going to come on drills. Plus, if you get Weidman on there, he's from New Jersey, so they'll come out for him, hometown guy. And then rumor also that Ally Akita is going to make his return to that card as well.
Oh, there you go. All they're missing now is Frank Yeager, right?
Thiago Alves.
There you go. All they're missing is Frank Yeager now, right?
Yeah.
2-time.
What do you think about this card? Is it too New York heavy, or do you think you want this? New York is one of the biggest cities in the world. Do you think they really need New York flavor?
I don't think you need New Yorkers in this card, but I do think that if they get the Conor McGregor, that's the way to kick off Madison Square Garden, because the Yoel Romero Chris Weidman match I think wasn't enough. I think that's a good co-main event that will add to the stagnance, but they need a solid main event. And
the co-main event could have been Lawler versus Cerrone.
Yeah, that would have been. So if it would have got that, if it would have been Chris Weidman, Yoel Romero, Cowboy Cerrone, and we lost Jason, so we're gonna keep going real quick. And it was Cowboy Cerrone and Robbie Lawler. Then the main event was Conor and Eddie Alvarez. I think that's like a super stacked card. But well, the way it sounds right now, it sounds like they need the Conor McGregor matchup. Yeah,
I think so too, especially because it's Madison Square Garden. Eddie Alvarez is from Philly, so got that maybe Philly, New York kind of type of play thing maybe going on there. Yeah. That's a strong rumor. It hasn't been confirmed yet. But do you like Conor McGregor getting that title shot?
I like it just the fact because
sell tickets, right?
Yeah, one, sell tickets, and two, we originally were invested in to see him at 155. And then the whole 170 debacle happened, and I thought it was unfair because that wasn't a fair weight class to see Conor McGregor in. And I really do want to see how he translates to 155, especially since supposedly that cut to 145 is very, very deep. So,
I mean, how deep can it be? Also, another one I heard too is Anthony Pettis is actually calling out Max Holloway for 205.
Oh wow, that's a huge matchup. I don't know. Yeah. It's funny because like these are the matchups that you have to happen to get a clear winner.
Yeah.
But it's the matchups I don't want to see. Just because I want to see Anthony Pettis fight maybe one more time at 145 before he fights someone so huge. And Max Holloway, I mean, I want that guy to be the future.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I just want to.
So do you think like it's more of like, oh, I want to have a fight at UFC 205 in Madison Square Garden, or I want to have a fight on a Conor McGregor card?
No, it's obviously Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you think so? No, I'm pretty sure McGregor's on that card. I want to be on that card too.
But I know that if they have anything to do with how much money they make off of pay-per-views, like $1 or whatever it is, they want to be on that card.
Give me on that McGregor. Give me that McGregor money. I think we should UFC's. I mean, it's been time coming since UFC 205 in Madison Square Garden,
and we're finally going to see Tim Kennedy, for crying out loud.
Yeah, we all know that the Madison Square Garden was the house of the McMahon built, right, for WWE.
Yeah, I think someone said a story once where they were like Vince was driving, and who was it? Someone didn't let them inside Madison Square Garden, but they as soon as Vince McMahon came, they like parted the seats and they let him in there.
Like either like his own office or like a plaque there too. Or something. He's the only guy who has like his own office in Madison Square Garden who's like a visitor. Doesn't really but man, it's the house of McMahon built. How many times has he sold out there? I wonder if
him and his daddy.
Yeah, I wonder if they have like a little if they'll be there for UFC 205, the McMahon's family or some WWE presidents.
They have to. They'll be in the front. Oh, imagine Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H right there.
And McGregor just passes them by.
And then and you know what? When is it? The date? Does it line up too close to? It's November.
Survivor Series.
It's a good way to push WrestleMania just a little bit.
Maybe they have Survivor Series up in Brooklyn. That's that weekend. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Always a cross promotion. That's a good thing about McMahon. He never lets opportunity go by. So that's it for round number 4. We have one more round, and then we're at call it a show. So do not go anywhere, guys. Stick around. Welcome back. Time to enter the 5th and final round. UFC Fight Night. Poirier versus Johnson takes place September 17th. The UFC continues for another event every weekend, I think, down to the end of the year. This one's be a fight night on Fox Sports 1. Yes. I'm actually intrigued by this main event, Dustin Poirier versus Michael Johnson. I think two of the sleepers in the lightweight division. Yeah, we're talking about Conor McGregor might come up and take everybody's spot, and Eddie Alvarez is a champion. But Dustin Poirier, I think since he came up from featherweight, has been on a tear. Am I wrong or
no? You are 100% correct. He originally went to 145, and obviously we saw what happened there. And then he went back up to 155, which I think it actually was better for him. I mean, it's weird how weight classes really affect the way a fighter performs. The last win that Desperate had was against Bobby King, who I was big time high on the guy, not just because he's a local fighter here. He actually had a pretty good run. He was the guy that defeated Josh Thompson. That was one of his biggest wins. Yeah. And so Desperate is on a tear right now in the lightweight division. He's 3. I think since coming back, he has
4-0 with 3 knockouts.
There you go.
With 3 knockouts.
Knockouts at that, yeah.
So Jason, lightweight division. Do you agree these guys are sleepers, or what do you think? Michael Johnson, Dustin Poirier.
Definitely. I mean, just keep in mind though, Poirier does his biggest loss to Conor.
Yeah,
It was a pretty decisive win for Conor, but at the same time, since he's come to lightweight, he's been, like you said, he's been on a tear, knocking people out. And both these guys, Dustin Poirier and Michael Johnson, they bring the fight every time. You're never going to see a boring fight out of these two. Johnson lost to Nate Diaz about a year ago, 2 years ago, and that was one of the better, more underrated fights I can remember in a long time.
No cheap takedowns like Mickey Gall did to CM Punk, or what?
Hey, we already hit that. We already had that, right? But no, I'm excited about this fight. I really enjoy watching Dustin Poirier fight. He was on that special that they had. It was like a Netflix documentary about fights in the Louisiana area, and since then I've had a lot of respect for where he's come from and what he's had to overcome. So yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, also the co-main events, I think
it's a pretty good one too.
A pretty big middleweight bout between Uriah Hall and Derek Brunson. Brunson has strong wrestling skills, but I'm anticipating a stand-up knockout fight, especially with these two guys. We talk about the middleweight division being, I think, a little older. In my opinion, a lot of older guys in the middleweight division, but Brunson's 32. With Uriah Hall being, how old is Uriah Hall? They're both 32, so they're both in their early 30s, entering the prime of their fighting career. Hall has been kind of a disappointment in the UFC, but
he's been up and down. He gets a streak, and then he gets a loss out of nowhere. I mean, he goes on and beats Mousasi, which is probably the biggest win of his career.
Yeah.
And then he loses to Robert Whittaker, even though Robert Whittaker is pretty good. And it's almost been a year since we've seen Uriah Hall actually.
Yeah.
So he really needs to get back into the picture here.
And Derek Brunson's not gonna. Last three wins are by knockout. So what happened, Jason? Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think one problem that Uriah Hall's always had is that he had this unbelievable amount of hype coming in, because if you remember on his season of The Ultimate Fighter, I'll never forget.
He destroyed everybody.
Anderson Silva was still, he destroyed, but he was saying, I think I might have the next Anderson Silva here.
And that was when Anderson Silva was still on top, yeah.
Yeah, you're going to think you see this guy coming in after all these knockouts to compete with some of the top-level contenders, and then what happens, he gets beat a few times, and then he's fighting for his career survival against, wasn't it against Lieben?
Yeah, Chris Lieben.
Yeah.
Dana White said that was like his second or third fight in. He said, okay, loser's probably going to get fired.
And he won.
This is this guy's second fight in the UFC. I mean, yeah, the hype can be a bad thing, depending on the fighter, but he has some with the win against Mousasi. Is probably, I think, his biggest win of his career so far. This should be a good fight. Usually, I like these cards because they're so, like, under the surface, where we'll come like, oh man, like all the fights are gonna be amazing, because these cards these aren't like two big names. They all tend to deliver, I think, anyways.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. You got everybody that's excited about UFC 200, and then it drops an egg, and then you got that fight night card
with South Dakota or something.
Right, exactly, and that's gonna end up probably stealing the show.
Yeah, so everybody thinks, oh man, I can't talk about it now because we're talking about CM Punk. We're already coming off that high, but then this card should deliver as well. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, like I said, I think FiveRound MMA has always been a big fan of Dustin Poirier, so it's always good to see him.
Yep.
Now I see a fan of FiveRoundMMA. That's a bigger question.
That's a bigger question.
I think that's it.
Find out.
Yeah, that's it for this week's show. I want to thank Jason for calling in. Jason, where can people hear your podcast? Those Leprechauns.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So we're back next Sunday in FiveRoundMMA Studios. We had to take a little detour. The first game last Sunday, we recorded another studio, but we're happy to come back next Sunday. You can follow us on Twitter at Those Leprechauns, and on YouTube at Those Leprechauns also. Yeah,
the game recaps. Also, you guys do a great job of getting alumni from Notre Dame, like big-time players. I think you had the mascot one day, so it's kind of cool, man.
We had one of the Leprechauns. We're still working on some guys for next Sunday, but we have some potential guys lined up that will be pretty exciting. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool how tight-knit the Notre Dame family is. It's kind of cool. Absolutely, yeah. All right, as far as us, I want to thank everybody for listening. And make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. It's FIVE Round MMA. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. First, with Rocking Green eco-friendly cleaning products, the 5 Rounds clothing line. And, of course, Redemption Martial Arts, the RMA Foundation, Redemption Martial Arts, Rise Up Against Bullying. And a big thank you to our partner at FightBookMMA.com. You can check this podcast at FightBookMMA.com. Albertito, what do you got?
I'd like to thank everybody for listening, and this podcast was just too sweet.
All right, later, Guillermo, too. Thanks for calling in.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.